Hello, Teacher Joanne here from my Zebra English journey. Now, today I want to go over some pros and cons with you about Zebra English. You may be asking, what are the negatives of working with Zebra English and what are the positives of working with them? Well, I'm here to tell you that there are a few negatives that you could focus on, but for the most part, I love Zebra English. And that's just not I want a referral speech. Not at all. In fact, I was successful on my other platform and I ended up moving all of my slots except for like 2 or 3 regulars that I was committed to on my other platform over to Zebra English, even though there were some cons with them. And we'll go over those so that you won't be surprised if you start teaching with Zebra English and say, oh, I wish somebody would have told me that. And remember, Zebra English is still in the beginning of their one-on-one platform. So even though they may be cons right now, they might not be cons in the future. So that's the good thing about Zebra English. They do listen to us and they do try to implement what their teachers are telling them. And for that, we love Zebra English and we're very thankful for that. So let's talk about some cons first, and then I'll talk about the many pluses or pros that I see with Zebra English and have experienced. Remember, I have been one of the few teachers that have been with them since the beginning of their platform, and we've been through the learning curve. Those of us that started out in the beginning, there are many things that we have had to work through, but all in all, we still choose Zebra English to be our primary, if not only, company that we work for. The number one con. Okay, here it is. There is no phone app for Zebra English. So if you're used to a phone app and being able to check your bookings, write feedback that way, there is no phone app. So you will not be able to do that. Everything will come through email or Skype. Now, they are very good at emailing and Skyping if they need anything, if they need to communicate with us, and to always remind us about our classes. And if you get a short notice class that books within 24 hours, then they will even text you. So that's just the personal touch that even though it's a con in a sense not to have a phone app, it's great on the other hand because you get these personal texts or Skype messages reminding you or letting you know about a class or communicating with you because they need to know some kind of information from you. So even though it's a con, it's a good thing too. All right, second con that I can think of is that it's only compatible with PC or Mac. Okay, so an iPad, their app does not work on it. It is not iPad compatible. For that reason, my iPad was what I used as my backup if something glitched with my computer. Well, I had to go buy a secondary laptop to be my backup. But that really wasn't that bad either because I could find all the tech requirements I needed in an inexpensive laptop that even had a touch screen and swiveled back like an iPad for less than $400. And if you want to know how I did that, then just message me. My information is below and I'll be glad to tell you that. Also, I want to tell you that I did it on a payment plan so that I didn't have to fork over $400 when I really didn't have it at the time for a backup computer. And I was able to get 12 months, same as cash, which is always a win. And I could break that $400 down into 12 months. That was only teaching 3 classes a month to pay for that payment. So again, if you want to know how to do that, then just email me or message me through Facebook and I'll be glad to give you that information. Okay, so that's the second con, no iPad that you can use as your backup or that you can teach from. Now, their third con is that their camera is not mirrored. So whatever you have written, or if you wanted to hold up some words on a flashcard or on a whiteboard, they are going to appear backwards to your student. So there's no writing on a whiteboard, and I don't hold up name tags with my name on it unless I write it backwards. And I'm not that skilled, but you can have, there are programs out there, and even I think in Word, that will flip your print. I've seen other teachers do it. So you can do that and overcome that con that is with ZebraEnglish. Now, the fourth con that I can think of with ZebraEnglish is that there are no cards to send to your students if you're used to that, and no WeChat association either if you are used to doing that with your students. So they will send you an email if you try to give a WeChat code or try to get that information or give that information to your parent. So you're not allowed to do that with ZebraEnglish, and that was a little bit different than my other company, and I really enjoy those relationships outside of ZebraEnglish with my students or with my other platform that I had been with. So that was a little bit different, but the good thing is ZebraEnglish will send emails between you and your student, and I think there are some things in the works in the future that will allow us maybe to send cards back and forth between our students. So that is the other con. Now, some people may think of this as a con. I really don't, but the 24-hour button can only be done for all of your slots or none of your slots. So it's not like other platforms where possibly you can click 24-hour on for this day at this time, but then not put it on at this time. So say that I don't ever put it on for 5 a.m., but 6 a.m. I have it on for all my slots because I'm already teaching and it's okay if I do short notice. Okay, with ZebraEnglish, you can't do that. It's either they're all on 24-hour short notice booking or they're all off. Now again, that really doesn't pose a problem for me because I just turn it on all the time unless I'm like, okay, I don't want to get up an hour early to check and see if I had a short notice booking. So I'll turn it off when I go to bed and then turn it back on when I get up and start teaching again. So again, it's what some may call a con, but it's something that it doesn't bother me. I've gotten used to it and I can work around it. So those are the cons that I can think of right now in relation to ZebraEnglish. And there's one more that I can think of since we have daylight savings time coming up. The last time we did not have that switched over until the day of, which was very confusing, especially if you work with more than one platform, of trying to keep those time slots from conflicting and double booking. So that is something that we dealt with back in the fall, but again, that was the first time that ZebraEnglish had to deal with the daylight savings time. In Beijing, in China, all of China, they don't deal with daylight savings time. They have one time zone and it never changes. So for them, it just stays consistent. For us, it changes and then we have differing time zones. So hopefully this spring, when it changes in March, it'll be a much more fluid process than back in the fall. But again, we worked with them, they were good to work with us, and it wasn't as bad as it could have been. Alright, so I've covered the cons, so let's go over the pros of ZebraEnglish. And these I'm just going to list very quickly, and then I will maybe do a video on the pros and why I love ZebraEnglish. And give you a little bit more insight, because mainly I wanted to go over the cons and let you know, because some people say, well, you just say everything good about ZebraEnglish, and that's because you're just trying to get people to apply and so that you can benefit from it. And that's not the truth, because if you know me and who I am, I'm honest, and I will be honest with you when I talk with you. I will be honest with you in these videos, and I will not just do something to get a sale or to have somebody use my referral link. I mean, what good is that? And do I want to be treated that way? No. And I like to live by do to others as you would have them do to you. So I wanted to list those cons out for you, and if you can think of any other cons with the company or something I have missed, then please just comment below. I would be glad to hear them and then possibly add them to another video that I do in the future. Now, I'm going to go quickly over the pros, and I'll save more discussion for the pros in another video. But for me, number one, I will tell you that Zebra English is a caring company, and all of us teachers that began with them, that stuck out to all of us. And they won us over, and we started bringing all of our slots that we had at other platforms onto Zebra English because of that. And that's one reason we're so passionate about Zebra English today. Now, another pro that we have for them is that there are consistent bookings, and consistent bookings equal consistent pay. And for me, that was a big one. Another pro that is with them is that you are able to teach. You're not having to spend your time marketing yourself because the system books you. That is huge. At another platform, I was continually concerning myself with, was my intro or my profile video good? Did I need to write my bio different? What could I do to market myself better and compete with all these teachers out there? And with Zebra, that's why their hiring process is a little bit harder than other platforms, because they are not going to overhire, which is another pro, and they can only accept excellent teachers because they have to be ready, and their parents have to be pleased because the system is booking them. They're not shopping around for the best teacher. So again, that's a pro because I can focus on teaching and building those relationships with my students. And that brings me to another pro. I have these students every week, once a week. Excuse me. So I have them once a week, every week, that they are my regular student. That's amazing. Also, another pro, I do not have to certify for differing levels and differing supplementary programs. Once I'm a teacher at Zebra English, I can teach all 3 levels, and I can do trial students. No special certifications working with Zebra English. The pay for me is better than my other platform. That was another pro for me. Also, another pro is their you don't have as many cancellations. That is huge. Too many times at other companies, students cancel right at like the 25-hour mark, and then you don't have a slot filled, you're not getting paid, and it's not a good thing. But at Zebra English, it's not that way. There are very few cancellations. So again, that affects your pay, that affects your slots being booked, and that's a good thing. So that's a huge pro. All right, well, I've gone over several of the pros with you. We will cover more in another video, so just look for that video. And I hope to see you again. Remember, subscribe to my channel. Click on any of the links below that might help you. And reach out to me if you need any help with the hiring process. I am a mentor teacher, and I do have a hiring coaching group if you would like to be a part of that. Okay, until next time, goodbye.